I just woke up. It's still September 25th. Still Sunday. Planning on going into work on my day off, like I've been doing for the past stretch of time, like more than 6 months now, I think. Because if I don't go in on Monday, then my Tuesday and Wednesday are just overwhelming, beyond capacity, beyond limits, beyond what I'm willing to do. So it's just, for my own sake, I just go in on Mondays and take care of what I need to take care of to my own satisfaction in preparation for my Tuesday and Wednesday in there. Because those days, even with going in on Mondays, are already just difficult. It's like my hardest days of the week are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I just basically have, I'm just a one man, one person department, basically. If I don't take care of it, there's only me to blame. And whatever I don't get done, there's me to take care of it the following day. There's, eventually somebody would take care of it, but, it would take a while, and things would just look bad, and I don't know. So I just keep things going, and just do it all myself, and how that goes. And right now it's working. And I do get paid, compensated for my time, extra. And no one asked me to start doing it. No one told me to start doing it. I just, one time saw that it was going to really be to my own benefit to be there, and I liked the results, and so I just started doing it more often. Anyway, so today, I did my regular Sunday, I guess, and then had a decent run. I had the run today that I was looking for and wanted yesterday. I didn't realize yesterday was like a festival day for the town. He even had fireworks in the evening. There was a lot of just extra traffic and pedestrians and bicycles, and I thought it was a really nice day yesterday for going for a run, and so did everyone else for doing outdoors activities, including the festival stuff, which involved music and crafts and art and fair, all that stuff, which I didn't go to. Just a lot of people. And then I did some writing today, and I thought about it, and I didn't want to go back and edit it, because I don't like to edit anything I put up publicly. I like to leave it pristinely, and but I might, or a different way to think about it is, in those certain circumstances, I am haunting my own ghost. Not being haunted, but I am haunting my ghost, my past iteration, where I'm, So I thought that was a interesting postscript or addendum. And I guess there's not much going on. I'm just getting ready for tomorrow. And then I've got my vacation coming up next week. Planning on traveling to West Virginia. And I say vacation in quotes because, it's not really, well, it's just doing something different for a little bit of time. It'll be fun to drive 10 hours you know, and go. It's going to be stressful. That's the thing. There's no. I like staying in hotels. I do like that. But then the actual visit, you know, and doing that whole, you know, being um, and performing my, you know, the role of being my mother's son is straining, because it's like falling into the old role, the assigned and perceived and projected um, role. And if I have a function to live up to, and or something, I'm not allowed to really diverge or be much, I don't know, because I need to live up to her expectations. And, you know, and the fact that I'm not currently and ever will be being and doing like it would have been wanted for me, because I'm supposed to be married and have children and stuff like that, and probably have a professional type job, career, and that's not. And of course, I'm supposed to be happy and have had grandchildren by now, probably. Lots of things, but that was never going to have been in the cards for me. So it's like, no matter how many futures were written in advance without my knowledge or consent, yeah, those were never going to have happened, no matter how they had to, no matter how they tried to sculpt me. Yeah, I tried. I did try to be what people wanted me to be for them. I didn't know any better. I thought well, they must know better. And I just guessed that, well, that's what life is like. That's what you do. So who am I? So I'll just do what people kind of suggest and follow along, play along, and just assume that, yeah. And it's like, well, this doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work. I'm not good at it. Must not be good at being myself, or must not be good at life, and seem to be struggling quite a bit. Yeah. So anyway, since I quit trying to pretend to be like other people and to be what other people wanted me to be, and quit trying to do what I think other people want me to do, yeah, I've become less popular, because I'm not feeding into other people's assessments and assignments. I'm just being myself. And that's not the nicest of persons all the time. But I like me, and I'm the only one that has to be around me. I just don't, the way I've been thinking about it recently is that I've just kind of opted out of the mandatory, compulsory, artificial social contract. Just the small talk. If it's not I don't know, yeah, it just feels like so much pretense and posturing and just ego-driven arrogance and pompousness, and trying to evaluate and measure against other people to determine one's own value and self-worth and significance. And it's like, are you doing okay? And then trying to judge if I feel like I'm doing better than you, or you're doing better than me, and then feeling bad about myself, or good about myself based on how you're, and then giving the pseudo compassionate, conciliatory remarks. It's just so much. It's so much of an energy drain to even think about, you know, all those interactions. So like I've been saying recently, it's like if I try to minimize those interactions, it's a minimization of getting those interactions wrong, because people expect and have already decided the correct interaction. And if you don't give them what they're looking for, then it's a bad interaction. They walk away, you know, kind of confused or like, oh, that was weird. Because they didn't get the standard, you know, what they're looking for, whatever the standard is. I mean, I can fake it. I have an idea of what people are expecting, what's within the tolerance range of, you know, acceptable ways to be. But I just don't want to bother to, you know, do that for every single person that just happens by, like every minute or two. It's like, I'd rather just work in silence and just, you know, not do that. Because that would just cost me untold mental energy. And I feel bad about myself. I'm an equal opportunity ignorer of everybody. So it's like when people get like what they think is, you know, me being kind of cold or silent or distant. It's not you. It's everybody. Don't feel bad. I'm just in my zone, doing my thing, and I do not require or desire. Yeah. So it's kind of like a old record by this point. But people really, really, really want to talk to me and gauge how I'm doing. And I just want to be treated like how I treat others. And I don't talk to them. I don't initiate very often. If people talk to me, I'll talk back. Based on their attitude, I'll reflect. So I just kind of soak up or observe whatever energy they're giving off, and then reflect that back just naturally. I don't know if you want to call it that, but and I was thinking about the types of people and the personalities that seem to bypass or get through some of my defense mechanisms and fortifications a little bit without even trying, without even knowing. And that's precisely it. They don't know, and they're not trying. My guards are not up, so they, you know, because they're unaware of me being any different than how they, you know, what. So they just see me as a person, and so they just treat me based on how I'm, you know, being, and without any foreknowledge. But as soon as they find out something about me, you know, they have a conversation with, what's up with that guy? You know, then they find out whatever the story is, and then all of a sudden, okay, now I'm reading something off of them, and it's like, you know, they don't know what to make of me. They're a little bit, the conversation falls off, and it's like they just go silent, and then they sort of, and it's like, okay, and then I just leave them alone. It's just a pattern I've noticed, and it might just be me, or it might just be, you know, my own interpretation. So anyway, a lot of it just comes back to sounding like self-pity or whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And, but there's certain things that I can't change. And would I want to if I could? You know, I can't just turn off being autistic. You know, I can play around with some personality traits and put on a show for people to mask some of my differences. But at the end of the day, I'm just always autistic, and those performances take up, they deplete me, and my social interactions are of depreciating value and become more and more difficult to maintain. Like even today, like towards the end of the day, it's like I've got nothing left. And I couldn't even be close to other people because I was afraid that they would, talk to me. And then they'd get some sort of strange answer. And I was like getting to a social distance point of like 20 feet where it's like I'm trying to dodge everybody and take additional security measures. And I was like, I just need to get out of here. And so I was working on that, and those little things that get in my way were really, it's like, I need to get out of here. And just that overwhelming sense of being trapped and needing to get out of there. And I was starting to panic a little bit. Anxiety was building up, and I needed to get out of there. And I got out, but it wasn't. It was just a little bit too many people in there for that time of the morning, and it was just, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I didn't really have much to say, but yeah. Anyway. I've got coffee made for tomorrow morning, and that's what I basically got up to do. Otherwise, I would have just stayed laid down. And I was thirsty, so I got some water. I was still dehydrated from the run from earlier today. Just another 77. I looked at the numbers, and I've done 31 miles in the past 4 days. So I did the half marathon 4 days ago, then I took a day off. Then I did a 77 on Saturday and a 77 today. So, getting those numbers. I need to look at a chart of their circumferences of the circumferences of moons in our solar system to kind of gauge where I'm at. Am I getting towards any named, recognizable moons? As our own moon is over 6,500 miles in circumference. And I'm at around 635. So I'm almost 10%, getting close to 10% of the way around the moon. First, of course, I'm just going for the 1,000 miles, but I gave myself an extended goal of, running around the moon, our moon. But before that, I was thinking about running around other moons, because our moon is the 5th largest in the solar system. But there's lots of littler moons. And so I thought, I checked a listing of their diameters, and I could have little. Well, I just ran around this one. I just ran around Saturn's this one. I just ran around Jupiter's that one. Or something like that. Just to, make it entertaining to me. Another dimension in whatever game I'm playing. So, anyway, I should probably go. So, I'm going to go make final preparations for tomorrow. And yeah, so, that's it. Good night.